Moving on.
I was gonna say, moving on.
This contest is over, shake your dicks and walk away.
Alright, so, anyway, we were trying to discuss these variety of dating websites. And we'll loosely affiliate the term dating websites with some of these particular websites. What do you think, like, the stigma on certain, more or less, the more provocative, I guess I would say, sites? Or, like, more like your Tinders and your, I guess, your, like, Grinders, if you're into that kind of thing, versus more of, like, I guess, like a Match.com or, you know, the Farm Girl or Farmers Only. I still vote for that. Okay.
I don't think there's...
Farmers Only, Christian Mingles, whatever the fuck you want to call it. All right. One of the more.
Okay, we got.
You know what I'm asking? Answer the fucking question.
What's the question?
The question is what do you think the stigma is with Tinder and Grindr versus those other sites?
I guess it depends on the person. I mean, are you in the hookup culture? Or are you looking for a serious relationship?
What are you looking for? I don't think it's like...
There's stigma, really.
I think it's more how the websites are perceived more than that there's a stigma attached to the people that are...
Well, it is not that also the same thing.
I mean, perception and stigma, if you want to say that for the websites themselves, but I generally think stigma as a judgment upon a person rather than perception of the ways people see it.
Well, can stigma not be a judgment upon a thing as well, rather than just the person?
You could, but I that's just the way I feel comfortable with the language.
All right. Apparently, English professor over here feels comfortable only one way. All right.
Missionary.
Christian Mingles for you.
Farm girls.
Farm girls.
Farm girls.
Farm.
All right. I have no idea what's going on that one. All right. So now we're going to get into a bit of probably, I don't know, a topic as to, like, first of all, the three of us are going to have no fucking clue as to what the other half of 50% of people.
We can make assumptions.
We can make assumptions, sure. It's true, but we're not actually going to know for sure. Because obviously, us three, we're men. What do you think women want to get out of these dating sites versus what men want to get out of these dating sites? Now, this is my opinion, all right? Guys, obviously, want to get laid. Women, more or less, I would have to assume, either want quick hookups with no strings attached, or serious long-term relationships. That's how I kind of got to look at it. What do you got for that?
I agree with you, but I think the determining factor for women is age. So, like, younger girls are probably looking for one-night stands and hookups. In my opinion.
Oh, you don't think the cougars are looking for one-night stands and hookups?
Well, yeah, but then there's like that, like 25 to like 32 age
Right,
bracket.
you know, kind of where they feel like they're in their prime for baby making.
Right. So they're looking for
Baby daddies.
Baby daddies. That's about as best as you can say, I guess. And resources, I guess, at some point too.
Resources as in monetary, you know, stability, kind of shit like that. Interesting perspective. What do you got?
think depending on the website that you go to, what are people actually looking for? I think in general, women are more or less looking for, I'm talking about long-term, it's not just like hookups and stuff like that. Because, I mean, both women and women are both looking for hookups in certain situations, but not everybody's always looking for that. And I mean, I feel like a lot of people that are just in the hookup game have pretty much just given up on kind of trying to find that person that they think they can spend their rest of their lives with, either because of the lack of trust or just the way they view society these days. But I think women in general are more or less looking for somebody who has a good job, has a car, is able to take care of themselves and probably take care of them as well. But then
Stability and financial responsibility is what I think you're
right.
getting at.
Self-reliant.
Right. And
Okay.
I think men are not looking for those kind of things.
No.
All
Because
they're
we already
looking-
have them.
All they're looking right. I mean, not all men have them, but I
That's
mean,
true.
there is some men that are just like looking for
That's
a
true.
woman to take care of them and stuff like that. But that's not generally what most men are looking for. Most men,
Because there's cougars.
yeah. Most men are looking for.
Well, fuck it up a straight of thought. Let them talk.
Most men are looking for just a woman that pretty much is attractive to start with, and somebody that will treat them well. They don't care about how much money you make. They don't care because to most men, a man's job is to take care of himself and his family. So and a lot of women that go into professional jobs and they start making their money. They spend most of their lives. They spend most of their lives thinking that their professional lives can fulfill them, and in some ways it probably can. But men aren't looking for that. When you're 35 and you're single as a woman, I don't think. I mean, you can find. You might be able to find a guy, but you're probably not going to find the guy that have all the check marks that make as much or more money than you.
So you think if you're a 35-year-old woman and you are single,
I think your prospects are much lower.
You're okay. That's you said. I mean that's a fair assessment.
But
if you're a 35-year-old male at the same point in time, guess what? Your prospects are also going to be much lower.
Well, no,
I
I would say it's the exact opposite. I would say a 22-year-old male who doesn't own anything, doesn't have anything, is still in school. I think those people, those kind of guys are much less likely to get an interaction, just like a 35-year-old woman is less likely to get an interaction.
Right, but at the same point in time, it also depends on how you establish yourself in life too. At the same point in time, do you give yourself like a net value and everything?
Not everybody fits in the same boat. But
That's true.
Right,
But
because there are
as-
people that are totally opposite of what we're talking about.
As a whole and in general, I think that I'm correct in my assumptions that a younger guy who doesn't have much and an older woman that might have a lot but is looking for somebody that makes more than them or that.
Well, that
You know what I
particular
mean?
second case could be like a unicorn scenario.
Right. Well, I mean, it's happening a lot these days.
Yeah,
You can find it a lot.
I mean, it could be maybe if some dude just like is a widow.
I think you're talking
Some
about the girls, right?
35-year-old girl, finding a more
But if
net
she-
wealth type of person.
Right.
That's a widower at that point in time.
I'm talking about women that spend their life
Yeah.
focusing on their profession more than they were
There's
focusing.
a lot of women like that
Right.
nowadays.
And then they were going to hold off on finding the right guy and just having fun and flings with just random guys or guys. I'm not going to say random, but maybe friends or people that were with and didn't want to take relationships serious until it became to a point where they're just not getting the interaction anymore because they're less desirable as maybe just a 22-year-old woman.
You're correct there because at dating site there's a lot of women that age with no kids
I mean, you're talking about the
The Zeus, yeah.
Zeus.
No kids, advanced degree, looking for somebody.
So smart, genius women.
But we're not looking for that. Guys aren't looking for that. Guys are looking for a woman.
Who says that?
Who says that?
Yeah.
I say I don't need that. I mean, it would be fine if she has a job and she has a profession and stuff like that. But does that raise or lower a woman's appeal to me? None. It has none.
I'd rather be able to conduct an intellectual conversation with a potential.
Right, you don't want like a
Partner.
bubblehead or anything.
Yeah, I don't want to be like, hey, you see what happened on Facebook?
Yeah.
Right.
Did you watch today's, top clips on YouTube?
I mean,
I'd much rather have an intellectual conversation with someone and actually be able to debate stuff in a rational manner. Rational manner. Keyword. However, sometimes you just don't get all those things in one basket.
I would agree with that. But the first thing that attracts me to a woman is first of all, the way she looks. She doesn't have to be like a 10 or even like maybe it's gonna definitely have. In my opinion, it has to be over
So
a
you're,
5.
so you're telling me the first thing you look at her is her tits?
No,
Her face, right?
or I'm more of a face person. Correct.
Oh, not even ass. You just go straight for face.
I do too, I look at the face first.
The
No,
face,
that's not what you told me earlier.
I said I'm an ass man,
right.
but I look at the face first.
But the second thing that attracts me to a woman is, can I have a conversation with this person? Can I speak to this person? And when I speak to her, do we make sense to each other? Because it's hard to talk to a younger girl and have a longer conversation and then have the same like life experience type stuff and be able to have a
You mean like
full-fledged
this?
conversation.
Look, that's if you're having a conversation via text message.
Right.
No, that's how they are in conversation. Like they're for a younger girl.
Yeah,
But I
well,
mean,
that's a whole totally separate
Right.
issue.
Right.
That's just
That's what he's getting at.
that's just the
Yeah.
younger generation
Right.
and how they do things, and it's like they could be sitting right next to each other and just texting each other,
Yeah.
and it makes no fucking sense to me. No fucking sense. I don't understand.
Because we're fucking old, that's why.
I was more along the lines like
We're old. You're still kind of young, Bob. So you need to carry on the mantle. Keep
Bro,
the fire burning strong.
I am basically as old as you are.